So, Dak, starting off, tell us a little bit about how this week's going for you and what you're up to with Sleep Number today.
Yeah, this week's going great. I mean, anytime that you're in Miami, you're in a great city like this, and I'm getting to speak on behalf of sponsors like Sleep Number. And right now I'm here in Miami talking about this great bed, and that's why I said earlier, there's two bad things about being in Miami this week. One, I'm not playing in this game, but two, I'm away from my Sleep Number bed. So I don't know my score. I don't know what's going on. I'm not being able to track it, and it's bothering me a little bit, knocking me out of routine. But it's so excited to be here. Thankful for Sleep Number. That's my competitive edge, and I'm just sharing it with the world.
You bet. You and I last talked after Week 17, win over the Redskins. Your shoulder was hurting then, so catch my readers up on how is your shoulder? What have you been up to out in California training, I presume?
Yeah, I mean, just taking care of the body, resting, relaxing, recovering at the same time. I'll start my training back here soon. Shoulder's gotten better. I'll start throwing and resume to my off-season routine and the way that I go about my business here in about a week or so.
And on that off-season routine, I talked to Troy Aikman this week, and he said from 2018 to 2019, he thought your performance was night and day. And I know that a lot of that was what you've done with 3D QB. So when you look at what worked so well last off-season, what do you want to do this off-season? Like, what are the top priorities?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to grow. I want to continue to improve off of that. I took a next step, I think, individually last year as a passer and as a quarterback. They didn't necessarily correlate to wins, and that's what was very frustrating. But moving forward, I have all the confidence that we will, right? But for me, it's about just going back, working with John Beck, making sure that my body is getting in the right position that I want it to, is staying activated. And when I'm doing that, when my body's in its routine, I feel like I can make every throw, and my confidence is through the roof.
You bet. A tougher note, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it. Last week, Renia Bear Wilson, your top receiver in college, was killed. That was pretty awful news to see. I know I'd worked with him on a story about you before. What went through your mind when you saw that? And you didn't need this reminder, but how fleeting is life in football?
Yeah, definitely didn't need it as a reminder, but it just shows you how precious life is. Renia is a special young man, special player. Was a young kid that came in on a dual scholarship to play football and basketball at Mississippi State when I met him, and didn't know much about football, and we were able to shape him into the football player that he became, a great football player. It's sad news, tragic news. Prayers and condolences for him, for his family, and all those that are suffering because of it.
When you have news like that, I mean, you've had the loss of your mom. How do you deal with it? What's your system for processing it?
Yeah, I mean, when you deal with things like this, you become calloused in a way. And sometimes it's a little sad. Sometimes you don't want to be insensitive to death and to things like that, but it just shows you how precious life is and why you have to take advantage of every opportunity that you're given in life and don't take anything or each second for granted. And that's how I live my life. I mean, I'm so blessed to be in the position that I am with the platform that I am, that I control what I can control and focus on that, and anything else takes care of itself. But I don't ever want to say if. I don't ever want to regret, and I just want to maximize my time here.
For sure. Control what you can control. That's something we've heard from Jason Garrett a lot the past several years. I know you say it all the time. That being said, if you play this year out on the franchise tag, what message do you think it sends?
I mean, hopefully it's the same message that this year sent. But obviously I want to win. I'm somebody that I've gambled on myself my whole life, and that's kind of what it is. I've been doubted, and I've told people that they're wrong. And when you're playing out a situation, when you're playing out a contract, there's no different mindset than that.
Do you think it changes at all the way your teammates see you as a leader?
I don't. I think my teammates know me well enough that they know that's actually not a thought in my head. That they know that's not why I play the game. That's part of it. Now it'll be a blessing when it comes, and that's the nature of our game, the nature of our business. But they know that that's not my motives. That's not what gets me going. And so I think it frustrates them probably as much as it frustrates me.
Yeah, for sure. This is your first time in your NFL career that you will have a new head coach. Where were you when you found out that the Cowboys were hiring Mike McCarthy? And tell me about your phone conversation with him.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember where I was. I think I was coming back from our Vegas trip when I found out the news. But excitement, obviously. Just knowing he's a quarterback guru, he's an offensive guru. Looking at his resume, the playoff wins. He's won a Super Bowl. And when you're a quarterback of a team like this, that's your expectations, is to win a Super Bowl each and every year. And so when a guy comes in that has one, it's easy to follow.
Have you had the chance to ask a guy like Aaron Rodgers about him or not yet?
No, I haven't, and I won't. I won't take it. Never have taken it upon myself to ask one individual about another individual.
Yeah.
Each relationship is specific to its own, and I don't want to allow somebody else's opinion or view of somebody distort mine.
You bet. That being said, if Randall Cobb is back, I know a bunch of you guys are up on contracts. How much can that help ease a transition if he knows the McCarthy system and he knows the Cowboys system?
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be so beneficial. I mean, he's such a smart player. So he's he has it. He thinks like a quarterback, and so I'm sure if he stays and he's around, which obviously I want, he could be an instrument for me to help and to maybe go to and say, hey, what are we trying to go here? I mean, I know what y'all did in Green Bay, and I know what we did here, but where's that medium? Where can we meet that? So that's interesting you say that, but I'm just looking forward to the direction that we go in as an organization.
You bet. And Mike's always been very involved in his career with the offense, but Kellen's still around. What he's told us is the goal is keep some of the terminology the same, but have his offensive principles in there. To my readers who don't know much about football terminology, how much does that make a difference?
It's huge that the terminology gets to stay the same. That's big. I mean, that's one of the biggest things when you talk about a quarterback, when you talk about leading an offense, is because if the terminology stays the same, that lessens that learning curve, right? That gap of I've got to learn that before I can teach it. Well, I know that, so now I can go straight to teaching, and it makes it easier for me because now I can just learn his system, and I don't have to worry about learning the verbiage and learning the extra words. So it helps. It definitely helps.
When you think about the great quarterbacks that Mike has been around and coached, what do you most want to learn from him?
I'm just excited when you coach those quarterbacks that are Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers. You know that there's something that he's going to offer that's going to help my career and going to help my career for a long time and make me a better player. So I'm just excited. I mean, I'm one of those people that I always tell people you can never hear enough, you can never learn enough. So I'm just excited for what he's going to offer me individually, but more importantly, what he's going to bring this team.
I know we've talked about consistency, getting offense, defense, special teams on the same page. But when you look back at 2019, the talent y'all have, the stats you're putting up, which I know isn't the goal, why does it seem like the stats and the 8-8 record were so far apart?
Yeah, because they were. I mean, sometimes we got ourselves down in games and had to throw a lot, and that's where you saw the numbers come from, where you saw the numbers increase. So you can't. I'm not a numbers guy, and I don't think anyone should ever be because they're always misleading. Numbers are not. I feel like I took a step individually, and I feel like our offense took a step. But it's a team game, and that's what makes this game so beautiful, and that's what makes it fun to get up and work each and every day is because it takes not just all 11 on the field, but it takes all 50, 60, 70 plus and the entire organization to win on Sunday and each and every Sunday, and that's what makes it fun.
This Super Bowl features a 24-year-old quarterback and a 28-year-old quarterback. No Tom Brady, no Drew Brees. I mean, we're kind of seeing this changing of the guard in the league of younger quarterbacks, and you're a part of that. What to you does that changing of the guard mean, and what are y'all bringing to the league?
I mean, obviously, when you're coming in and you say there's a new era, there's a new wave of quarterback, that means there's some guys that are leaving. But those guys that are headed out, I mean, what they've done, the roads and the ways, the routes that they've paid for us and opened up the windows, whether it's allowing the dual threat quarterback to come in or whether it's them guys showing us the preparation and the way to play and the way to extend your career into your 40s. So thankful for them. But these young quarterbacks coming up, they get it and they know what it takes because we've watched those older guys. We know that you're not just winning on Sundays, but you're winning on your preparation on Mondays and Tuesdays. And when you think about that, you have to turn and you have to look at Tom Brady. You have to look at Drew Brees, those guys like Peyton Manning that you know the reason they lasted, you know the reason that they had the success that they did is because they did that. But it's exciting to see the athletes that are playing this position now in the direction that it's going.
What do you most respect about those younger quarterbacks, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, their confidence, their aggressiveness. When you watch those guys play, you can see it. And it's telling. It's telling. And as I just said, just not just Mahomes, not just Watson, but a lot of these young quarterbacks, especially Lamar. The confidence is through the roof, and they know that age doesn't matter. Sometimes experience doesn't matter. If you've got the ability and you believe in your coaches and the players around you, you can go get the job done. And all these young quarterbacks have the talent and the ability to do it.
You bet. What are Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and the Giants getting in Jason Garrett?
They're getting a great coach. Somebody I'm so thankful for. As I just said, it means a lot when a coach believes in you, and that's what he's going to do. And that's what he did for me. And I'm thankful for him. He drafted me, believed in me, but then also helped me develop as a quarterback and as a player. And they're getting somebody that's going to be prepared, who's going to know and know you know. And, excited for him. Excited he's still a part of football, just not there.
You bet.
Yeah.
I know. Is it going to be strange opening game probably, seeing him on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'll be strange, but it's all business. I'm excited for the direction we're going again now, what this team's going to do. And Cowboys-Giants has always been a rival. So that's not going to make it any more, any less, but we'll be ready.
What's the key as a leader when you have a coaching change? How do you keep the locker room going smoothly?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a part of it, so I'm excited for this challenge. I'm excited to be in this position and learn from it. But for me, it's about knowing that I've got to lean on those other veterans, those other guys that have a voice in the locker room, and we've got to stick together. We've got to be on the same page as McCarthy, and then we've got to push his message. But those are the best organizations. Those are the best teams when the players are able to do that, to echo the coach's message, and it's believed throughout.
You bet. You're on a bright stage with the Cowboys this week too. But you've talked about how you like to go out in your backyard, sit, just watch the sunset thing. Do you get more time to do that this time?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's been a lot of the month of January. Obviously, I'd want to be playing this month. Don't get me wrong. But it's been great. It's been a great time to recover, to relax, as I said, to get my body back going, and to restore my energy. Because when I get back here in 2 weeks, I want to be full go, enthusiastic, hungry, and not worn out. And doing that allows me to do that.
When you are sitting in your backyard, what are some of the thoughts that are going through your mind?
Everything from football to family to what I'm going to eat for lunch. I just literally just hang out. Just let my mind go and just get away, and there's nothing better for me.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Joy. Appreciate it.